Good evening and welcome to United Real Therapy, people. How are we doing on this Saturday night? Yes, it's a new year. Yes, Manchester United did not lose a game in a new year. But guess what? Manchester United go back to what they do great. Ruining weekends. That's what Manchester United do. And if you're any surprised, if you're shocked, if you're like, then I'm sorry, me and you do not watch football the same way. You know what they say about human beings? We could see exactly the same thing and get different thing from it. So I'm not here to have a go at anybody who doesn't see football the same way I do. But if you watch football, I kept screaming, it's not sustainable. This is not sustainable. And once you get a team that can put their chances away, it's going to be good night Vienna. But other than the last 10 minutes that we hustled and bustled, that's how I want Manchester United to lose games. If the full game was like the last 10 minutes where Manchester United were trying to get it on there, put it on there, then I would think, I would be coming on here defending the team, defending the coach, defending the tactics, defending the game management. I would be doing that. But we didn't. We rallied when they scored in the first half for about 8 minutes, and we rallied for 10 minutes after they scored, after the last 10 minutes of the game. And that's what it was. The rest of the game was dominated by Fulham. And if anybody else tells you anything different, I can't help you. But big up to everybody. Big up to the panel. How are we doing? My brother, Ronani. How are you doing, brother?
Hey, it's been a while.
Luwani, how you doing, Luwani? You good, bro?
I'm good. Big up, Nuruddin. Brother Sean. Brother Bombay, big up.
Is that sun in New York I see in the background?
Yeah, it's
big up, bro.
Same weather here. So the sun is not out, but it's very cold actually today.
But it looks sunny at the back there on that window. It looks a bit sunny.
Yeah,
I like that plant, man.
I have the game, the Arsenal game on the background. My
computer, man. Why would you even do that?
Yeah.
We're gonna need to get our fix from somewhere, Sean. After that,
Anyway, so you good, brother? You well? Are you well?
I'm well. Thank you so much for bringing me on. I've been watching. I've been absent because I've been on the road for a while, but I've always been watching because I drive a truck. But every time I'm driving long hours, I have you guys on, and I've always been listening to the debate. So
big up, brother.
Yeah, man.
Big up to you, bro. Big
Master
up to you.
Bombay.
How are you, bro?
Brother Sean, I came in today to put both of you on trial, man. I didn't like the way you guys went at Nuruddin last time.
Is that even possible? Can anybody go at Nuruddin? But make your case now. We're here.
So basically, I'm not surprised by the performance today. I'm just surprised by the result. Because that's the way we've been playing week in, week out. And big up Nuruddin. Every week we've been consistent regardless of result. I always hear Nuruddin saying that it's not sustainable. It's just a matter of time. And here we are today.
Let me ask you a question. Since we're getting into it, do you think having Rasmus Højlund would have made a difference? And if you agree, how much of a difference do you think Højlund made today, or not having Højlund made today?
I believe having Rasmus Højlund will make a difference today. We will probably have won the game, but like I say, I'm surprised by the result. We could have won the game today as well, because there was a point where after scoring their goal, Fulham let us have the momentum, and we equalized from there. And then what I was expecting to happen is that at the point we have scored the second goal, and we will be here again, gloating about how we choose our moment in the game and gloating about individual performance of players instead of talking about the performance as a whole. So.
Yeah, big up. How you doing, Bombay? How are you, other than obviously the result? Are you all right?
Yeah, fine, man. Fine, absolutely fine. We did the show on Thursday. I was optimistic. I went into this game thinking 3-1 United. And then I was sat at between 5 and 6. I had a game, I had a match at 7. I was sat at Huss's house. And then it comes, Hoyland's injured. That kind of changed my perception going into this game, you know. I actually had him as captain on my fantasy football team. And then I'm thinking, now we've got problems. But I thought, okay, just put Rashford as striker, go Garnacho left. And now Ahmad maybe gets a game. You know, he looked bright when he came on. I like him. Or okay, if you need to put Anthony, okay, put Anthony. But he didn't do that today. He did something totally different. So I went into this game less optimistic. You know, Hoyland was a really big miss, and you felt it today. And unfortunately, I've been watching Man United, and I'm thinking, you know what, we're turning a corner. We're playing a little bit better, seeing a bit more positive things. It's nowhere near what we want, but we're getting some results. But then again, you're thinking, you know, as you're turning this corner, is it going to keep turning? That's what we're hoping, or are we going to crash and burn? And today, you know, I have to just say Fulham deserved to win the game. After
Just like
99.
Villa. Just like
Yeah,
Villa did.
yeah.
Just like Luton did.
So
yeah, let's be right. If you want to tell the whole truth, you got to tell the whole truth. On Thursday, everybody was arguing saying that you guys were asking the question, have we fluked the last games? I was like, yes, we did fluke the last games. Look, I mean, it's there to see. It's there. It's blatant. The manager's tactics, the players' instruction, the players how they're taking on what they need to take on.
Bro,
they're not following the game plan.
Let me ask you this simple question.
He's been stubborn. Let me finish. He's been stubborn and again and again. And I look at people like Bruno, and I look at people like Rashford, who last season we played through. And then people are now going to make the excuse, because Rasmus played. That's not true. I'm sorry, Mulawani, but I don't think that's true. If he played today, Man United could have still lost. Because it's not one individual person. We've got players who are professional. Some players who won big trophies at other clubs, who are Champions League Varane, Casemiro, these type of players. Bruno, all these type of experience, one of the best players in the Premier League. XG this, XG that. And we can't keep the fucking football. So when I say this manager catfish me, and big up Google this. Google this. I didn't think sacking him because I didn't want Darren Fletcher and Steve McLaren. I didn't want that as an interim. I wasn't ready for another interim. For me, the manager needs to go at the end of the season. The players needs to fucking go as well. It's simple. Clear house. That's what needs to happen. But then I look at it, I think, I saw these results against Oli when Oli was in charge. Jose was in charge. LVG was in charge. When David Moyes was in charge. So I'm not surprised or neither shocked. But the argument, what a lot of you had, is that Manchester United have turned some corner. And I told you that was a false turn. It was a false turn. I kept trying to tell you, but then you keep calling me negative.
No, Rudin.
Look,
I have a question. I have a question.
1 second, bro. I'll come back to you. I will come back to you. Write the question down. We'll come back to you because there's 5 of us tonight, and we want to get across to give everybody a fair point of saying what they have to say. So, Bumbaye, carry on, and then we'll go to Sean. Then
okay,
Mr.
it's bro. Look, this is gonna happen as for the remaining 11 games. We are trying to determine here, what do we do with Eric Ten Hag and what are we seeing from this team? And what we're going to conclude is either you sack him or give him the next transfer window, keep going on your process. That's what this is about. And I said to you that my season started at like Newport. I thought, let's go from there. Casemiro back, Martinez back, Luke Shaw back. Let's see what it is. And it's because before that, we're fatigued because we're playing too many games. We haven't got our players back. So now I thought, well, Now we're not playing but a game a week. Now we've got most of the team back. Let's have it. Let's go now. Let's give the guy a chance. Maybe it is. Let's really make certain. So we're going along. I'm seeing in those last games that we played, I'll give you one example. The forward line is much, much better than it's been the whole season. Scoring, they're trying to find each other. They're playing a bit better together. That's one positive. The fullbacks have been really good. Luke Shaw's made a difference to us. When Martinez was there, he made a really good difference to us. Casemiro has played well, and he's played not so well some games. So there have been better performances. We've been in games, whereas before, if you think before Newport, it was just like one big long game. There was no excitement. We could not score a goal. We could not create any chances. It was dead. So this is where you're going game by game and you're thinking, what are the positives that we can take from this game? And because we all know the negatives, that we don't hang on to the ball, we panic. We know them, we establish them. Everybody agrees about that. But I'm looking for positives to be able to assess what I want to do with Eric Ten Hag. And today, unfortunately, we started for 8 to 10 minutes. The game was all over the place. It settled down, and we had two spells. I felt we were a threat, but they had, they played better than us. They forced the issue better than us. They constructed better than us and played through us better than we played through them. And it's a shame that we only really started having sustained pressure in their third of the pitch when we needed that goal so desperately. We actually took our time a bit more, shifted the ball, picked the passes, and Ahmad came on and did really well. So I think the starting lineup was wrong, and the attitude. And I just finished by saying I've gone into this game thinking 3-1. And one thing that Ten Hag has said, which is perfect, is every game is a cup final, guys. All the good work we've done, whether you think we deserved it, we didn't deserve it, we got our 3 points at Villa. But now that doesn't mean anything. It's 8 points. So you've played today's game in quite a poor fashion. We've reverted back to type. And it is a cup final. It could have been still 5 points, 8 points now. And we've got City next. And as Elion Tenno said, he said a nice comment. Let's hope that City and God are feeling merciful, because if we play like that at City, then and Villa win again, you are done. There is no Champions League. That's it. It's finished. Season's finished. So that's where we are, unfortunately, today. It's a real bitter taste, because we, at home against a team without their two best players, William, Paulinho, and that striker of theirs, and they were the better team. So today, Eric Ten Hag, unfortunately, back in the mud. We see what happens from here.
There's no Champions League though. Like, but my Champions League is done.
Yeah.
That's been done. That's been done for a while. Now. I guess like where I differ from, Nuruddin and some of the other guys is I think Ten Hag for me still gets another season. Because if I look at the game today, if I look at this season, I think about the fact that Højlund isn't available. The one critique I would agree with of Ten Hag is that like his system is too reliant on specific players. So if Martinez is not around, there's a remarkable difference. If Højlund isn't playing, it's clear that like a key element of what he's trying to do isn't there. I watched Dalot closely today, and I was thinking of you, Nuruddin, and the conversation we had the last episode, basically. You said it's 3-1-6 that we play. It's supposed to be one of either Dalot or Lindelof next to Casemiro in the middle, because that's where Ten Hag wants his wing backs, inverting in the center, playing around in the midfield. And the few like instances in the game that we're able to do that, those were those moments that it seemed like we had some control. But when you have Lindelof playing at left back, and you have Højlund unavailable, or Rashford being as horrible as he was today, and Bruno as well. Some of that stuff I feel like no manager basically can legislate, because it's basically a player going through, or each of them going through whatever can I swear on this show, the fuck it is that they're going through in their personal lives that is bleeding onto the pitch. And you have to think about like where the club is also in general. These guys haven't been able to build on anything because last season it was one thing. It was one entire soap opera with Ronaldo and all that stuff. This season it was something else entirely with the Glazers, Qatar and Sir Jim and Greenwood. There's barely been a chance for football, and the football like that we're all asking for. Where is it? All the players are injured. So it's been one thing after the other. If the Ineos or Sir Jim ownership have any idea, and it seems like they do, at this point in time, we just have to sit and watch and give the manager some time to shape the squad. I guess he's having to make choices. I thought he made the right choice, not messing with the wing back situation or the defense at all or the midfield. But switching Garnacho to the left, and playing Rashford up front today, I thought was a mistake. You should have kept it as much as possible, like what we've been doing so far. Garnacho, I think, is the best right winger we have in the club, even though he's also one of the best left wingers we have also. But what he gives us from the right is better than what we've seen from Anthony or Rashford or anyone else basically this season. And the manager should have stuck with what he was doing, but he switched it because his options are limited because the squad is depleted and in a terrible way this season. And I'm basically just saying that like we should cut the manager some slack.
Listen, not cutting nobody no slack, man. He's the reason why majority of the players were burnt out. He's the reason that only thinks that he can do it with 14 players. He doesn't make.
It's the burden of coaching a club like United.
Let me finish. He doesn't. He's tactically the way we play out from the back is shocking. And like I said, I helped my friend with his Sunday league team, and we coached them to play out and be comfortable. I look at teams at the bottom I look at even Burnley, the way Burnley get the ball out. We've got superior players to Burnley. But the fact that Eric Ten Hag wants to tell me and the whole of the watching football world that Manchester United can't keep a fucking football, can't keep the ball, can't control game, can't today at 17
we
shots.
can't keep the ball when it's Maguire and Varane. But when Martinez plays, there's a remarkable difference like between how we play when he has his players around.
But Sean, we shouldn't. That's what I'm talking about. Coach these fucking players. You coach these players to keep the ball. I look at Brighton and I see what Harry Potter did with those defenders. You know those defenders? They're not worth 80 million. They're not even worth 30 million. They're not even worth 13 fucking million. But they're coached to keep the ball. They're coached to keep the fucking ball, and they can.
I'm sorry, but it's one thing to play for Brighton.
No. Sean, miss me out with that.
It's
Sean,
one thing to play for Brighton.
Sean, the grass is green. The ball is a ball. I'm sorry. Coaching, drilling is this where it is. But then he let me know who he is and how he catfished me because he said, no, I don't look for patterns. I do it. We do it in game. I don't do it in the training. So it is what it is. Move on to Jarvis. Jarvis, big up to you.
Big up.
How are you doing? Big people, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Shadow banned. We are shadow banned people, so at least you could do subscribe to the channel. But no, me personally, I'm not shocked. I know 100% Jarvis is not shocked. I guarantee that. I guarantee Jarvis is not a guy who's shocked about today's result because it's been there, but we've been getting away with it. And I told you the result business is unsustainable. You have to be able to control games. You have to be able to control opponents. And Manchester United, we look like, I swear to you, at some time in the game today, I'm going, my Sunday league team had a bit more patterns. We would say, come back here a little bit more. Stop that run. The ball that's been played. What did we say on Thursday about the transitions? Which they play on, they win the ball and they go direct quickly. What did we say about that? And today, they're probably missing 3 of their best players. They're missing 3 of their best players. Paulini and they're missing a striker. Oh, man. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say big up to Craig Warby because he had it was his birthday yesterday, and he sent me a text telling me about
Happy birthday.
He met 3 South African guys who traveled all the way, you spend all their spendings to travel to Old Trafford, and he took a picture of them outside the superstore. And I feel sorry for people spending all their money and all the time to go to Old Trafford to watch something like this. It's a travesty, And today we witnessed a team, and we were exposed. We were exposed because they did the same thing as Bournemouth did. They come in, they play a mid block, they don't press us when we try to play out from the back. They just wait because they know that we are incompetent and we don't have the ability to play them out, to dominate them. They know. We make players like preseason Pirlo, Pereira look like a freaking magician out on the pitch, because every time they had the runners, Lukic and Reed, the other guy, he was brilliant today, fighting all the time. It was like a terrier for them. Every time they won the ball, they gave the ball to Iwobi or to Pereira, and they could create on transition against us, the best transitional team in the Premier League, or at least that is what Ten Hag is trying to do with this team. So in a way, I don't know, I'm not even angry. What's there to be angry about? Because we know the abilities of these players. It's a travesty. But I think Sean was mentioning a thing that I believe is key for this game. Because I could see the reasoning behind playing Lindelof on the left to avoid disrupting the partnership with Garnacho and Dalot on the right side. However, today Ten Hag got it completely wrong. He underestimated the significance of player relationships. When moving Garnacho to the left, he had a negative impact on Garnacho and Dalot. And for me, as a coach, you don't do stuff like that. You have to think it through. And shifting everything around like that's just like amateur level coaching in my mind. And another thing is, when Casemiro got injured and the manager tried to put Bruno on the right, McTominay in the 10, Kobe and Eriksen in the double pivot, shifting it all around in the 60th minute like this. What are you doing, Ten Hag? Come on, man. You're supposed to be one of the best managers in the world, and you act like a fucking amateur. For me, I give Ten Hag a big F today because of his tactical approach to the game. It's not good enough. I know the players are not good enough, but Ten Hag should realize this and do something more about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big up Saeed in the chat. So hey, listen, that's what happens. You get targeted with people want us to unsee. The people want to invent certain things in it, certain realities. They want us to unsee what we see on the football pitch. And then when we talk about what we see on the football pitch and we say it's not sustainable, then they see that, wow, well, basically what you see is not what you're seeing. We're back. We're doing this, Champions League. And what have I always said to you? Fuck fucking Champions League. What's the point? We get knocked out in the group stages, or we get knocked out as soon as we get into that first round, the knockout rounds. So what the fuck is the point? What is the point here? Why are we doing this? At the end of the day, for me, if Ineos are serious, this new structure and all this are serious, then a lot of those players have to go. The big players have to go. The coach needs to go. And then to me, I'm never about sacking because I'm sick of fucking sacking. Because to me, exactly what Natalie said as well. People need to go. All the injury and rehab guys need to go. The whole club needs to be ripped out. It's not just the manager. I don't believe sacking one person, bringing another person is going to make that fucking big difference. It's not. So you need a complete shifting and moving of everybody. But big up, Saeed. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but
Unfortunately, I didn't go to the game today.
that cannot happen.
I had a ticket. Well, somebody last minute said to me, "We'll give you a ticket," but I was like, you know what? I'm there fighting for human rights, man. I'm outside the BBC with his lies about what's going on in Gaza and just pretending that Palestinian children died, like they just died on natural causes.
Yeah,
they
just
use
die
language
over there.
like this: die. Palestinian children die. Israelis get murdered and killed. Right? So there is this massive. So I was outside the BBC losing my voice. So it is what it is, people. It is what it is. it's hard for me to sit in a stadium and stomach it. There's a genocide taking place on our phone screens. So the least you can do, people, is smash a like over the video, subscribe to the channel. We're demonetized, and we're also shadow banned. But I want to go to Lesso. If you're there, Lesso, go ahead, bro. Big up South Africa, at least standing up for the Palestinians, man. Big up.
No, big up to everyone in the panel. As usual, we're back here again. Like we always said that we would be back.
Like that classic record from the 80s British soul. Back to life, back to reality, back to life.
No, man. We did say we always we have to laugh about it. I mean, if we don't laugh about it, it can be detrimental to our health. But on a serious note, we did speak about this happening week in, week out. I couldn't be entirely confident. I kept saying it. I couldn't be entirely confident. The way we were playing, it was never sustainable. You knew at one point, we're gonna lose, man. And it only takes a few injuries because if you don't have a sustainable way of playing and you're depending solely on your starting 11, it's gonna show in the people that you put in, that replace the players that are injured. Because if you really did have a sustainable way of playing, whichever changes you make, those players who come in will be fully integrated in the way that you should be playing. So I was always scared of that. I mean, it's common sense when you think about it. And here we are, week in, week out. This is what we're gonna get. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'll always keep saying that the manager has to go, the players have to go as well, not just the manager. If Ineos are serious, like Nureddin was saying, if Ineos are serious about what they wanted, I said this thing that would make wholesale changes, and starting all the way from the players to the manager. If you're gonna get rid of the players, you have to also get rid of the manager, because we don't know what we're gonna get from the manager anyways going into the following season. If he can't implement his duties, and on his side alone, then I mean, he's also capable. He's also capable of everything that has happened. So we have to look at both sides of the coin. As much as I blame the manager, I also blame the players. You have to get rid of both. If you want to make any sort of radical changes to a team, or you want to be successful, you have to get rid of the whole rot. You can't pick, like, for example, if you have a crack, you can't just, you know what I'm saying, basically stitch it up, because it will open again in a few months' time. Whereas you'd rather look at the deep lining problem as to what causes the crack within a house, and then you have to look at the deep-rooted problem and you have to cover it up from there. You understand? But what we're doing, we're papering over cracks. I'm just hoping Ineos do what needs to be done. And looking at the game today, it was just the same as I've been seeing throughout the whole season. We hardly dominate position. I mean, you look at the starting 11, still not balanced. I was always crying when I saw Lindelof on the left. I was like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be a long day. And I looked at the substitutions as well. Same problem. Makes the wrong substitutions. So for me, the in-game management, as well as the starting 11, as well as the style of play, nothing has changed, guys. And so this new structure has to come with the new manager. We have to start from scratch. If we want to do things right, we can't paper over the cracks. We can't take the shortcut route on this. We have to actually do it from starting from the manager all the way up in terms of the players that we need to get, and the types of signings that meet the standards that we want to play to. And that will be us going into the right direction. And I'm willing to get behind any manager that can implement a style of play within the first 12 months. If you're not doing it in 12 months, you need to be out. This thing of giving managers 2 years, we don't have 2 years. How much damage is done in 2 years? We're going to be here over 40 years, you know, hoping for the same thing and doing the same thing over and over again. You know, and that's insanity. That's the definition of insanity, doing one thing and hoping for a different result every single time. So I want a proper structure. I want a proper manager. And I want this manager to also be governed by the way we need to be playing. That's it. We need to set standards at this club. The standards are below the ground at this point. They're not even underneath. They're way below underneath. So look, there's nothing more I can say. But big up to everyone.
Big up.
And
Listen, big up, Lesso. Yeah, 100%. You've hit the nail on the head, people. To me, sacking a manager, I don't believe in sacking a manager mid-season. I don't. They let them finish the season for me, personally, because I'm sick of interims. When I tell people Manchester United have had more interims than we've had managers in the last 11 years, people go, what? Yeah, go and look it up. Big up, Luani, go on ahead, bro. You wanted to ask a question. But yes, there is no surprise. Actually, let me just get some of these super chats. Big up to everybody. Big up to Mufc. Mufc, worst performance from United of all time. Everybody except Garnacho, Menu, and Højlund needs to leave the club now. Absolutely pathetic. He's the season ticket holder, man. Big up to Mufc. I got to know everything thanks to Nuruddin. I'm just scratching my head on why things are going so wrong. He's done great things with Ajax. Surely he's not the foolish man. Listen, Ajax is a different league, bro. It's a different league. Totally. Like I said, the reason why I wanted Eric
Ten Hag... It's a smaller league too.
Because, you know why? I got absolutely catfished by the way they perform in the Champions League. The triangles, the combinations, the passing, the ability to keep the ball and pass and move and, like, rotate players. And the fact that players can be comfortable with the ball at anywhere, anytime. That's why I thought he was a good coach. Hayata. But big up to you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Say me Yassi's back, people. Say me Yassi. Say me Yassi's got the tail. He, on Thursday, he had a tail between his legs. The tail has now left. He's now vacated the legs. The tail is up now. It's up. He says, what a masterpiece. Saka Ballon d'Or.
My brothers, I'm
baffled. Let me just get this last one. Big up Ethan. Said Ethan, he played Bruno on the right, sackable offense. Listen, he's been doing that for a long time. But go ahead, Luani. You got it, bro. Go ahead.
I'm baffled. You know, I'm furious because I need my brothers to explain to me what we are. We're talking about a culture of accountability because that's what happened at the high level. We sit down here every week and talk about what Ten Hag has done wrong and what he could do right. But yet, he's the one that is paid $10 million in the job. He's the one that have all the tools at his disposal. He have his assistants. He have all the video materials to do his job. And we still here sitting down discussing about what he's doing wrong after almost 2 years and 400 million spent. Where is their accountability? What are we as a team? What are we? Because after 2 years almost, I don't see where we are. He said that we want to play from the back. We want to play out from the back. We can play out from the back. We want to be the best transition team. We can transition on nobody. You know who's playing from the back, out from the back today? I can see Fulham. Because they were setting trap for us, okay? They were playing out on the back, no problem. We pressed with 4 or 5. And it's well known that with Maigure in the squad, we don't play a high line. So when we press in with 4 and 5, we have that gaping hole in the middle of the field. Any manager with sense would drop their false 9, their inverted winger in there, and 3 passes later, they are in our final third. That's the only thing Iwobi was doing today. Just dropping into that pocket and picking up those balls and going the other way. What are we doing? What is Ten Hag ball? Can somebody explain to me?
No, listen, Luani, listen to me. I can appreciate what Sean was saying to me. This is where I agree. I agree. He's had a lot to deal with at Manchester United. Manchester United is a chaos football club that's rotten to the core because of the ownership and the all of it that comes with it. But I'm sorry to say, if you bought players and then you can't coach the players to pass the fucking ball, to control it, move it a bit of tempo, keep the ball, keep it away from the other team when you're under pressure, make decisions on the football pitch, then I'm sorry, you don't deserve to be. This guy's getting paid millions. Yes, the added drama, he was told by LVG. Remember, he met with LVG told him, that's a chaos commercial football club. And he still came. So at the end of the day, for me, he absolutely goldfished me. He did. He absolutely I got goldfished so badly. It's unbelievable. And now I just see a stubborn guy who wants to only do it with 13 or 14 players, right? That's all he wants to do it with. He doesn't coach anybody or improve anybody on the football pitch. And I'm sorry about the injuries, but it happens. And everybody who's defending him said, "Oh, well, and even he said it himself."
No, but Nuruddin, it doesn't happen now.
Let me finish. You can come in, please. Let's not scream. We're not screaming. We want to just finish. So when I finish, you can come in, Sean. The point is this: he said, and all of the bandwagon toxic positivity FC was saying, "Well, we get our players back. We'll get our players back." And I'm like, you don't think the players can get injured again? You don't think the players can get injured again? Like they're like, all of a sudden it was like that was it. They made the rule with the injury, the people that the reasons why footballers get injured, and they told them that's it. Manchester United are going to have their players back, and nobody else is going to get injured till the end of the season. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Today, the Mexican striker who's been banging in goals for them was out. Paulina, their best player, was out. And I think one of their best defenders was out as well, if I'm not mistaken. Their right back. Was their right back playing? The usual guy.
No, it's called Ream, bro. Ream.
Team Ream, yeah. The American.
Yeah,
So
he's not
my
playing.
question for the panel is,
Listen,
what are we basing our progress on? What are we judging progress on? Is it by
for me, there was
results
listen,
or is it by performance?
No, but some people on Thursday said they're all about the results.
No, wait
So
a
I
minute.
said-
No,
That's
bro,
my
no.
question.
Some people said Sean
need
said
to
it's
know.
about the results.
Yeah,
said
Sean.
football is about the results, right? And some people agree, and some of the lads of the fan base think that, right? I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I say when you are scraping by weekly, it's papering over the cracks of the performances and a lack of controlling games. But go ahead, Sean, and then go to Bombay and Jarvis.
Yeah, no, like I was perfectly willing to today in this game take a smash and grab. That would have been fine with me, precisely because of all the circumstances that we all acknowledge that exist for United. As a fan, I would like and I am fine with stealing a victory. Like I don't see what's wrong with that. The manager is having to deal with a lot.
Sean,
So I would agree.
Sean, can you just hold it there, please? Unknown, please. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to United Real Therapy. But we will not be using that type of language. Rio Ferdinand is a fraud, right? You can call him a fraud. I agree with that. But I'm not using that language. Nobody's half a caste. The correct term you want to use is mixed heritage, right? And Jav just means working class. So no dehumanizing people of working class background. I'm working class. A lot of people on here are working class. So please do not do that. Thank you. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, I'm okay with stealing a victory. And if that's what happened today, I would have been fine with going into the next game, with a victory that maybe we didn't necessarily deserve, but that would have helped us, along the way. Ten Hag made mistakes. Let's remember that like a lot of these players were all these players, all these players. Ten Hag came, the players that he has brought to the squad. Martinez, I'm not going to count Casemiro because I'll think of that as like a Glazer signing, commercially. So Martinez, at the start of the season, he brought in, Onana, sold David De Gea, somebody who had been here since like the Fergie era. I don't care what anybody says. I think that affected the squad, in a way. And he started the season with Casemiro, Mason Mount, and Bruno. That was his supposedly revolutionary idea. He was trying to change what he had last season with Eriksen and Casemiro in midfield, and it didn't work. We were exposed. We started the season on a shaky level, and early on, I came on and said, this shit doesn't look like it's working. This man is making mistakes. I see you guys next season. And everything that is playing out basically like this is what I think I'm willing to accept from a manager in the second season of managing the probably like largest, most difficult job there is. I'm willing to give him time. Like there's nowhere for him to go. There's nowhere for us to go. Like in this situation, basically, like we are all in this quagmire, wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a quicksand full of shit. Basically, that is Manchester United. And we have to pick one and stick with it, basically, and give a manager the chance to create something, whatever spark there was that led them to give him the job that we saw in Ten Hag and in his management of Ajax and in their exploits in the Champions League. The guy has some ideas. The squad, it didn't work out. That's Mason Mount Bruno combination. It didn't work out. Mount is supposed to be coming on for Bruno. At different times. If Mount was around, maybe we would have been able to play him instead of Bruno because Bruno is shite now. He should be on the bench for a minute. But yeah, like the squad is thin. If we can get rid of Casemiro in the summer, Varane as well, we'll see what these guys have in their pocket. Give the manager another season, and then we have this conversation again.
Now, for me, Eric Ten Hag and me are done. He's too stubborn. He doesn't understand. He thinks we're fucking unintelligent. I'm done with this manager.
Sure.
But I never wanted him to be. I never wanted him to be sacked mid-season. I was always against that because to me, the only way we keep Ten Hag and the shit show continues next season, if the players stay, if we don't sort out the medical department, if we don't sort out the injury and rehab department, if we don't sort out all of those from them things, then they can all stay and then we'll go to another shit show of a season and we can all enjoy it. No problem. But changing him ain't gonna solve it.
To accept a victory we did not deserve against Fulham at home.
Because that's football. Literally,
no,
like,
and football.
like
United.
No. Like, see, that's I think the last 10 years basically is more representative of whatever quote unquote heritage there exists. So that's the claim that Mourinho was making in that interview. Football heritage now, you have to think of the last 10 years, not the idea you have in your mind about what Manchester United was. That's fun to think about, to reminisce on, but it's not what we see. It's not the foundation that we have necessarily for this team that exists today. It's a mess. I agree.
We keep saying that why teams are passing us in resurging. Arsenal can talk about the past 10 years. They've been in the title challenge for the past 2 years. And from what I'm seeing, they will stay there. Right?
The way I think about it, I think football clubs, the way City did, the way Liverpool did, we are in our wilderness moments. Like you understand, Arsenal went through it, Liverpool went through theirs, City went through this for a long time before Pep. When Pep leaves, they're going to be fucked for a while too. It's going to happen to everybody.
I doubt that.
That's my opinion.
Before Pep got there. I'm sorry, Sean, I don't agree with that. Pellegrini's never won the. Listen to me. Pellegrini's never won a league in his life, right? Never won a league. Mancini won a league. Here, I'm sorry. Man City are going to be all right. But change your manager when it's the manager's fault. They know players to sign. They know what happens when they make the mistakes in the transfer. They correct them straight away. That's what they do. Jarvis,
City came with a theory of the case now, right? They came to gamify like the Premier League. That's what basically this oil and oligarch type of ownership has done. It's turned it into FIFA, that you can come and spend a ridiculous amount of money and sign, £50 million players or
I actually think
every single year.
I actually think 100% it wasn't their big signings, other than the first couple of years, the mistakes they made. Actually, recently they've just been adding one or two players here and there. To me, what the 115 charges are about is they inflate the money they make. That's what they're inflating the money with it. But Jarvis, on Eric Ten Hag, I'm asking you genuinely, do you think he deserves another season? Or do you see too many flaws on this manager's way of thinking? The fact that he's coaching, the fact that he only want to consist with 14 players, the fact that he believes the patterns and the rhythm comes in during the game, and not what you do in the training. Like, those are the facts. Like, the fact that he allowed Alvaro Fernandez to go out on loan and Reguilon was sent on fucking back to, even though I didn't rate Reguilon, but at least he was left-sided. He offered the angle at least.
Yeah.
All of these type of decisions. Do you think he deserves another season? Genuinely, is there enough what you see of the football, Jarvis?
Yeah.
And the way that he favors Bruno and Rashford, for me, that alone he needs to be sacked. I don't want any manager to come here and have favorites. I'm always against, and every manager has it, by the way. But I'm against every manager for me who has favorites. All of this what's happening, Jarvis. We predicted it on this channel from January. So for me, there is, I swear, I'm telling you, there is not any shock to me. It's no shock to me what I'm seeing. I'm not surprised by any of it. I'm not, because I saw it in January last season.
We are starting to,
where we played decent football was from October till December. 2 months in that November, we played a bit of decent football.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jones.
Yeah. We have talked about this so many times. You know, I have lost track of every time you have mentioned stuff like this that you're saying now. The other day we talked about injuries, Luke Shaw's injuries reoccurring after a long injury and injured again, and the day after Højlund comes out with the breaking news, injured again. So basically,
you asked the question, Jarvis. You asked the question. You said, "How long would till the likes of Garnacho, the likes of Rasmus, who run onto the ground?" And badam, because what did we say in the summer? We said bring 2 strikers. Martial to me doesn't exist because he's always injured, and you give him that contract. Nobody else going to give him that contract, but bring another striker. And no, they don't listen. They go on about FFP and all this, which is bullshit to me, right? Bullshit. Yeah. So then this happens, and we ask the question, and God forbid what happens. He's injured. So, but go ahead, Jarvis. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, but we know this, and the thing is, I think Lesto mentioned we should only give a manager 1 year because it's all the time he needs to change it. But I don't think when it comes to Man United, it's a different ball game. You know, you can't change it around in 12 months. It's impossible, even for Pep Guardiola. At least as long as we have the owners on top, the Glazers. But that's another discussion. When it comes to the game today and what's been going on the last couple of days, I think a lot of the players got deflated when they heard that Højlund was injured, because you could see it. They weren't switched on when the game was starting. I think it took us about 30 to 35 minutes before we started producing chances, and the writing was on the wall. We got big warning signs from Fulham that they were going to sit back and counterattack us and take the chance whenever they got it, and they were imprecise in their attacks. We were lucky because both Iwobi, Pereira and other of the Fulham attackers, they were a little bit imprecise when they were attacking. They had big chances, but it was 0-0 until halftime. And we started up, and Ten Hag switched everything around. And the worst mistake from Ten Hag was putting McTominay in the 10, because Fulham was sitting back with the low block. So McTominay was basically playing with 2 center backs in his back, with his back against the goal. And McTominay's pass completion from this game, I think.
You know what? We couldn't sustain any possession. I'm watching the game, Jarvis, and I'm like, why? I'm like, if anything else, get him in the box, stick him up front. Let's just start crossing it from every angle. Stop McTominay in the box. Get him as a number 9 and start swinging balls in.
Our possession problems came from Bruno, Garnacho, Rashford, and Lindelof.
Yeah. But the McTominay's pass completion was 63%. 63%. Can you believe it? And he's not the creative player. He's not taking chances. It's backwards and sideways when it comes to him. And 63%. It's a fucking joke, you know. And that's why I'm saying it's amateur hour from Ten Hag with his substitutions. He doesn't think, because in the heat of the moment he gets stressed. He's not cool. He's not like a fighter jet pilot in battle, staying calm when the going gets tough. he freaks out. He doesn't know what to do, and we have seen it over and over again. And this thing makes me doubt Ten Hag. But he comes from a small club, Ajax. Man United is a different beast. He needs to learn, and he needs to learn quick. It's either sink or swim. We have Manchester City coming up and Newcastle in the FA Cup. If you lose those 2 games, I think it will start to burn under his feet. I
But
think
Jarvis,
so.
I'm asking you though, do you think everything you've seen from him tactically, in-game
Hmm.
management, the pitch since January, do you think he deserves another season?
Well, it's too soon actually to evaluate because of all the injuries. It's been a very difficult season for all of us.
Jarvis, everybody's got injuries. Let's not be correct. Come on now. Everybody
Yeah,
gets
but
injuries.
yeah, but our squad is so unbalanced. So
No,
we
but
are
he's
we
part. Listen, I'm
depend.
sorry,
we-
Jarvis.
What?
But
He
I'm
built
sorry,
it.
Jarvis. He's part of that, constructing that squad. He's
Yeah,
partly
he is.
responsible for that.
Yeah, but the
You
players that
can't.
we have brought in is the players that we depend on, like Højlund and Martinez. Those are two of the most vital players in our squad. So we can't play. I won't blame Ten Hag on that yet, because we have seen when he has his players, things is better. So it's a little bit too soon for me to evaluate, but I will be critical to him every time he makes a mistake, and I will point it out, because I think we need to do that. If he's not improving, then it's chopping time. He needs to go. But I will evaluate at the end of the season. I will wait. It's too soon for me.
You know what? We should never be hearing from a manager of a club at a high level. Wait till I get my players back, especially after 2 years and 400 million spent. That I'm
Facts.
not going to accept that. No way. No way.
Facts, Lawani. Nobody wants to have those uncomfortable conversations. For me, genuinely, I'm not shocked, and I swear on my mother's grave, I would be sitting here and saying, you know what? I do not want to be right. I do not want to be right.
No.
I wish I was so wrong. I wish we were here now jumping up and down going, get in. What a great football. What a great win. What a fantastic goals. What a bit of piece of play. I want to be saying that. But I predicted this shit. I'm sorry. I saw it in January. It's not new to me. It's not, and I'm not shocked. I said it on Thursday night. And you know what their fans were singing today? We're shit away, so you must be worse. You must be shit. We can't win away, so you must be shit. That's what they were singing, their fans. We're shit away. Sorry, no. We
Managers
can't
don't
win
make
away,
excuses.
so you must
They
be
make
shit.
adjustment.
That's what their fans were singing.
But Nuruddin, I just want to answer your question when it comes to the tactical things, because as we have talked about a lot of times, we play the 3-1-6 formation or the 3-1-3-3 or whatever you want to call it. The problem is when we're building up from the back is we have 2 center backs, and Casemiro is usually the one who drops down to receive the ball, and then Dalot invert. But Dalot is not a midfielder, so every time Dalot is just occupying space and making the space smaller for Casemiro in a way. What we see, for example, Brighton do, they leave one midfielder high up and he drops down because it's on the timing of the pass. But the space is open. But the space is not open for us because Dalot occupies that space besides Casemiro, and Dalot is useless receiving the ball with his back against the goal. The opposite goal. So we have a lot of problems in the build-up. And I think it's like
it's rhythm. There is rhythm. There is zero rhythm to our play. Zero rhythm. And you're telling me he can't fucking go on a training ground and go, right, we're doing it again till you fuckers get it. You know how much money you're on? We're doing it again. We're repeating it again. Next week, we're doing it again. And again. And again. Triple fucking sessions.
I mean, Nuruddin, if only, right? If only,
till you
right?
fucking get it.
If only that was all it took, right? Like, just tell them to do it.
Other teams
to try really hard.
You know what? I'm sorry, Sean. You know what managers do when you don't do what they told you to do? Get the fuck off the football pitch. You got 5
Boys,
subs. Get the fuck off the football pitch.
There's no point in analyzing this game. Everybody can see and agrees it was not good. I think even if you look at our panel here and you look at the comments, at a certain point, we are going to be asked the question, should this manager continue? Do you want to give him whatever money we have to give and let him continue on this road? Or do you want to sack him? And that's what we're going to find out in 12 more weeks. That's
What do you
all he's
think,
got.
Mbaye? What would you do?
Well, this is the season, as I said to you. I was Ten Hag out. Then I was getting hit with a lot of they're tired, and I was getting hit with a lot of Casemiro. We need Casemiro. We need Martinez. We need Shaw. We need. Okay. So now I thought, well, tired is finished now. There's no more tired. It's a game a week. Casemiro's back. Eriksen's back. Shaw was back. Martinez was back. And I thought, okay, it seems things are. I can take some positives. I'm actually able to stomach watching us, and in moments, I like what I see this last 6 weeks better than the previous 50 weeks. But still, there is major problems. This is about can you fix those problems whilst getting results? Now, you asked me the question last week. There is an opinion amongst the fans that say there's no minimum expectation. Let's just free hit, end of the season, one more year. That to me is like saying, how long is a piece of string? I don't accept that. Me, I have minimum expectations and standards from every manager. Now, I don't even want to compare Ten Hag to say we only gave Mourinho this long of, and I'm not bothered. If we gave him, if he was here and I genuinely was tuning into United and thinking, you know what? We are going somewhere with this man. We are heading to the promised land. I will stay for 5 years until we get there. But right now, before 6 weeks, I was like, we're going nowhere. Then we got the players back. I thought, let me, either he buries himself or he makes me believe that he's the man. But I won't accept results. Today, when the game started, I'm thinking, I want a performance. I want to see some football. What are we working on? Are we still improving? Am I going to see the things I liked previously? Then, by the end of the first half, I thought, please, I'll just take the 3 points any which way we get them. Yeah? But I expect if Ten Hag is going to stumble through the next 12 games, just get 3 points, then reach the end of the season. To me, that's unacceptable. I need to see football. If I don't see football, then that has been 2 years, way too long, to not have established a nice identity that is in line with what we like to watch as Man United fans and what we're used to watching. Results appease. If we win today, we come on air and you know what? Okay, we keep the wheels rolling, no problem till the next game. But because you lost, it's the equivalent of, let's say, me coming on air and saying to you, we won at least with Mourinho. But if Mourinho did his 30% possession and we lost, then that's when I have to, say to you, okay, Dino, chew me out. It's your right to. Today we played terrible and we lost. So Erik Ten Hag is burying himself at the moment. So if this continues to the end of the season,
yes or no? Do you give him another season?
At this moment in time, Dino, and I promise you, I'm not sat on the fence. Really, I'm not. You know me. I will tell you, I was Ten Hag out. But I only want to be fair, to be certain that I want him out because there's no more tiredness, there's no more players.
No, we're not tired now. There's no tiredness.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's no tiredness.
At the beginning of the season. The
tiredness and now we have time to work, don't we? And now, like you say, we have time to work, right?
No tiredness anymore.
Exactly.
No tiredness.
So that excuse is gone.
Last season was the tiredness when I was predicting it while it was happening. When it was going 4 trophies, when majority of the fan base were like 4 trophies with 13 players.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't get top 4 and if we continue to play inconsistently like this and get to the end of the season, and if you came to me and offered me another manager, then I'd probably take the other manager. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen,
but if we have a major turnaround and we're like, for these next 12 games, all of a sudden results are there, top 4's looking nice, and we're playing something, and I feel it's not a long time, but it is a long time.
That's the difference between me and you.
Do you know what I mean?
It's not about top 4 for me. I don't care if we're 10th or 11th.
Also, top 4 is gone.
Listen to me. Let me say something. If we're 17th or 16th, I have to see it. I have to see coaching that's been fucking done on the training ground. I have to see it when I go to the stadium. I have to be able to see it.
But you see some of it, Nuruddin. You can see some of it.
No, I can't. Let me get these super chats. Let me get these super chats. Hold on. Pick up the panel.
Okay.
K-Max. Pick up the panel. these tough times being a United fan, I'm hoping I can go on loan to Real Madrid.
Take us with you, man. But listen, going back to what Lawani said, bro, the drop-off of this team in every single facet of their game when just one or two key players are missing is a little bit alarming.
That's not sustainable.
If I can, listen, what I'd say is if I always have to play the game where I have to absolve the manager because the Glazers are the owners, then that really makes my life difficult. So what I'll do is I can only compare my manager, his resources, this team to other teams around us. So Paul Merson comes on today and he says United were dreadful.
We were.
And then the question is, should he be getting more out of that team? Of course he should be. That's what his response was. So you have to bring that into the fray, guys. It can't just be the Glazers are there, so no matter what you do, Eric, it's okay.
Let's be fair, Nabuma here, right? Let's be fair. In the summer, he wanted to get rid of Maguire and McTominay and bring in one of either Todibo or I think was it this window that we're linked to Kim Min-jae.
Sean, bro, let's just leave all that aside and concentrate on
No,
what we have.
We can't leave it though, because if you're planning a business, a venture, anything based on like certain inputs, and you have an idea, maybe representations have been made to you by the leadership in the club before these new guys came in, and you're planning and you don't get exactly what you want, and you're stuck with. I don't think Ten Hag personally wants to be playing these sets of players that he's currently.
I know where you're going with this. I know exactly where you're going with this.
I would have to say that, like, if I woke up tomorrow morning and I saw that, like, Ten Hag has been sacked and Nagelsmann is the United manager now, I'll be like, okay, no. If anybody, Harry Potter, Ancelotti, anyone, I would be like, all right, I would still watch the game. I would still wake up, whatever time I would wake up, and life would go on. But if you ask me what I think we should do right now, I think we should give this manager a chance.
Nuruddin, you have to let me answer before you go.
Let me just get a super chat. Think about what you're saying. Big up to John Diallo. We appreciate you, King. We really appreciate you. He said, sent $50 from the best Man United group commentary on YouTube. I appreciate it all. You all make the best content. I appreciate you. Love and light, bro. We appreciate you, King. At the end of the day, it's simple for me. I do not want this manager sacked.
Nuruddin, I have to come back here.
Go ahead.
Sean, in a hypothetical situation, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, we didn't get whatever he wanted. What we have is what we have. But people are saying, with what you have now, you should be doing better.
Yes.
Whether it's results or whether it's the way that the team plays, functions consistently. So I'm not telling you he wanted Frankie de Jong, he wanted Maguire gone, but it didn't happen. But with what you have, irrespective of what you wanted, should you be doing better? I look at this team, and this is obviously down to every individual. I believe, yes, we should be doing better. Not just now.
Not doing as good as you should isn't always a sackable offense. I would throw that out there. And I would give the manager a second chance. That's what I'm saying.
No, I hear you, bro. But for me, it gets to a point, or it will get to a point where, I'm not getting results. I'm getting nothing in terms of performance. Today, put it into context, bro. Manchester United on the 6-game winning streak bounce at home to a team that's only won one other away game with their 3 key players missing, dominated us at home, deserved to win the game and walked away with 3 points. When you look at it that way, this is alarming. And don't forget, just to put the cherry on the icing of the cake for you, this is a cup final today. This is a cup final today. You lose this game, you are effectively killed us. Anybody that might be interested to come to this club may not come now. There's no Champions League. There's no Champions League.
I would like to clarify.
We lost our Champions League slots the moment there was 8 points between us and the 4th place. It's not today.
Sean, no, it is today. You know why? Because before today, it was 5 points. It's one game effectively, bro. Now it's looking impossible. Not only because you lose today, because your next game is Manchester City.
Yeah.
Mbaye, what the hell are we going to do in the Champions League? Get embarrassed like we did by Galatasaray and Copenhagen.
We
Again,
have to think in
shut your mouth, man.
3 year increments. Like we have to think
Listen,
in terms of
stop it.
3 years
Stop it.
I would
for
like
the
to
development of
clarify
this
something,
Listen,
club.
right?
stop it.
Why
I
do
honestly,
we,
I don't know what you guys are talking
why,
about. Let me
why
get a
do
super
we,
chat. Listen,
why,
big up Bento. Well, hold it, Elo, and I'll come to you after
Free
this.
Palestine,
Listen,
nice.
free Palestine. Nuruddin Bumlicks, Rashford, and Bruno. Real good, bro. Do you know him personally? You were
You
the one
brown
who was saying he
noser.
was tired for months. Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I was. Because I saw what happened to Liverpool and Liverpool players when they went for 4 trophies. And I said it from that January onwards, we're going to feel. I predicted the beginning of the season. But at this moment in time, the amount of teams, the amount of time that they had, the winter break and all that, I don't believe any of these players are tired. I don't. But I appreciate the super chat. Free Palestine all the way. Big up to you. Go ahead, Luani.
so I would like to clarify something. Why do we all think that football is a result-based business? Because from where I'm thinking, I think football is a performance-based business. The reason for that is because the top footballing team of the world are also the top performers. It's not a coincidence. Why we cannot act like performance and result are two things that are mutually exclusive. Because when you perform very well, the fact
Can
is
they
that
get the
more
results?
often than not, you will get the result.
Yeah.
And when you don't perform well, more often than not, you will not get the result. That's a fact.
Facts. Facts. Big up. Listen, big up Khalis from Eddie Lassie.
Yeah.
Khalis from Eddie Lassie, brother. We only appreciate you when you can make it. Never feel guilty, never be sorry. When you can make it, you can make it. Chief Editor United Real Therapy. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter, people. Khalis Ramadeen Lacey. Go on, check him out. Big up to you, bro, with all the quotes. At the end of the day, listen, Nottingham Forest on Wednesday. I didn't see the game obviously today, but we'll check out match of the day. But they lost today, didn't they? They lost 4-2 against Villa.
4-2.
Yeah, 4-2 against Villa today. They'll be up for it on Wednesday night. And
Why this love
I
for
expect nothing. I expect us to get knocked out. They beat us. I thought they were quite comfortable. They beat us comfortably in the league this season already at their ground. So I expect nothing. I genuinely expect nothing. I don't have any expectation. And actually, I'm really surprised at Sean because he wrote the season off. But then a couple of wins and he's back on it. That's what kills you. You know, the football. You know, the biggest thing to say in football is
I'm
what
saying
makes
come back
football
next
the
year.
worst is the hope that kills.
My
And you
brother,
know what? And
Oh,
you know
dear.
what? From January last season, I had zero hope.
my
Zero.
brother,
The only games.
Man, but we
when
can't watch
players were
football like
literally
that with
making-
zero hope, man.
my brothers, my brothers.
I honestly,
my
I'm
Sure
not
we
gonna lie to you.
can.
I did that.
Sure we can.
I swear to
Yeah.
God, listen, I did. I'm not gonna lie to you. And the only games where I got really angry this season, right? It was on the ETV match reaction against Galatasaray because I saw Champions League Varane and Casemiro and that fraud Unana today. I mean, what a fraud he is as well.
No,
Never
distribution
dies.
today. What do you think of the distribution today, though? It's
Listen,
good, I
keep
thought.
the ball out of the fucking net. I swear to God, the one above David De Gea is saving that. The one above David De Gea at least diving for that. I swear to you. I'm like, fuck the distribution. Get me back David De Gea. If I was down, I would bring David De Gea because at least he would make saves in big moments in the game. That's what he would do. And that's why I agree with Sean in terms of like, that destabilized the team. That destabilized the big players. But Bruno, I'm sorry,
What are we
the brother
doing
that
with Bruno?
who sent
Tell me,
the brother
what
who
are we
sent the
doing with
super
Bruno?
chat, Barton, Bruno, for me, honestly, I know he's not an Eric Ten Hag kind of player. You don't rate him. That's why every opportunity he gets, you want to stick him on whatever places. But Bruno is shocking. He was shocking again today. Absolutely shocking. There was a moment in the game, yeah, in that last 10 minutes, right? We're on the ball. There are two players. I think it's Diego Dalot, McTominay, and Diallo. But Diallo's in a better position. He shoots. Other than passing the ball to Diallo, who's on one-on-one, he shoots. He starts having these pot shots, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
No, then.
Slide the ball
I've
through
been-
there. And you know what? You know, if I won't mind, if you have to beat players to slide the ball, there was no players there. Fulham, for once, we lopsided them on one side. They were all to the left-hand side of the pitch. And on the right-hand side there was space just to put that ball in. And Diallo's like, what are you doing? I'm free here. I'm on side. Give me the flipping ball.
No,
But it is what it is. And to me, last question is, Maguire the first half, that was a red card. We got lucky.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, Ray. We got lucky. That's a straight red. That's a red. We got lucky. I believe he should have took the second yellow and climbed on what's his name? Traore.
Yeah.
Jarvis, quickly, do you think he should have climbed on him and took the second yellow for the team? Stop the counter attack.
Yeah. It's one of those chaotic moments at the end of the game when you try to chase the game and win it. So of course when we are that high up, and maybe even a point today would have been enough to still be in the fight for the top 4 or top 5. It depends on Spurs because they have a game in hand against Chelsea. They might as well lose, so we could be 3 points behind Spurs today for 5th if they lose for Chelsea. So not everything is done, but I don't think we have the consistency to win. But to answer your question, yeah, definitely should have done. I remember back in the days, Solskjaer against Newcastle. You know, when you know, it's all about winning, the mentality. But Maguire, he's not quick enough. He didn't think of fouling him for a free kick because he didn't see the danger in the situation. And this is Maguire. He doesn't sense things fast enough. He's not quick enough as a footballer. His legs and his head is not quick enough to play at this level. So yet again, just another confirmation that who Maguire is as a footballer.
Yeah, big up to you. Bombay, should Maguire took the second yellow, do you think?
Yeah, take the second yellow. You know, I mean, I don't know if he thinks it's going to result in a goal. He takes a second yellow, he gets Sarad. We're going to be here ripping the back out of him. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I wouldn't. But Bombay, you don't know me. I promise you, I would never. I would never. If a player does a professional foul to stop a game, to stop a counter attack, that could be a goal. I'm all for it, 100%.
Bro, I'm for playing in a way where we're not in that position.
Somebody's
you know what I mean?
Try to save a result at least, or try to not us to concede. I clap players. I would have clapped him. And by the way, he took his goal really well.
But he wants to play the next game now, right?
Say that again.
He wants to play the next game now. You know, Maguire, he still wants to play.
What's the point?
my brothers, we have a Bruno problem. I've been watching football for over 36 years, right? But hand on heart, I have never seen anybody play that midfield position the way Bruno plays it. He's not unique, my brothers. He's an anomaly. If you know any midfielder across history that play that position the way Bruno plays it, please give me a name.
I feel like you're going to tell us he's something special, amazing, and I will agree with you.
You know, the midfield position require certain specific skill, and the most important of them is the decision making. Please tell me, Bruno, with his decision making.
Did you guys see this today? Seriously, now, yeah. This is from Bruno back to Ten Hag. I'm watching the game. Bruno is pressing from the front like a nutter. Yeah? But by himself. If that is happening there, yeah, and it is happening constantly, at what point am I to understand, is he a guy that's been told you can do whatever you want, you go and press on your own, do whatever you want on your own, and then the team will do its thing? That's
what Bruno is supposed to do, right? So I think they usually pin Højlund on the opposing team's defensive midfielder. Our wingers track their fullbacks, and everybody else just pairs up. And Bruno's job is to hassle the defender on the other side, or the keeper, or whoever is picking up the ball from the keeper and trying to start a breakout for the opposing team.
Sean. I'm sorry. I'm really
That's
sorry.
that's Bruno's
I'm
job in
sorry.
our press.
I'm sorry.
What
I'm
what
sorry.
we need from Bruno is some time
I'm
on the
sorry.
bench, some R&R,
But what I'm
basically for
asking,
him to go rest and come back.
but Sean, what I'm asking is, you must
It's
understand, bro,
positionally
that
in
there's a
discipline. Bombay,
guy who's
what you want
playing
to
as
look
an
at is the
individual.
positional in discipline. To me,
No, but
I would
Nuruddin,
never have
yeah,
Bruno in my team
yeah, but
because
bro,
he's too positionally indisciplined. I want
Habibi,
you to be. Listen, I play Sunday League, Bombay, and you know what, Eric, my coach, used to shout, "Midfield, where the effing hell are you going? Get back in position."
but I'm
He would,
asking it,
he would get
if
the
this is
coaches to coach
happening,
us to stay in positions. Do not vacate. Don't get attracted to the ball. Don't run out and chase. Because like when you, a lot of you play
all right,
five-a-side.
look,
When you
ask
want
yourself
players
this
in
question,
chases and
bro.
No, but
nobody's keeping the
different
possession,
players have
what
different
happens?
profiles. You can't
It's not,
punish Bruno for being somebody, for being who he is,
but
or for
guys,
not being the type of player
Well,
that we all
out
wish
of the
him to
team.
be.
Out of
just
the
one
team,
second.
simple.
Look.
You're out of the team till you change.
Look, if Bruno is doing whatever Bruno wants to do, that is not, it's impossible that he will not be called out on it if it's detrimental to the team. And if he's not getting called out on it and he's doing willy-nilly what he wants, because effectively when he presses on his own, they bypass him. Now we're a man down
Yes.
and they're away. Okay?
No,
So
but
if
he's
that,
not just
so,
doing what he wants. He's following the manager's instruction. The problem with Bruno now is that
so
he's
the
lacking
instruction
quality.
is so the
So his
instruction
passes are
is wrong.
overhit or underhit. He's weak on the tackle. That's what's wrong with Bruno. He's out of form. He's not a bad player. He's just
Bro,
in
I'm
a
asking
bad
He's
you,
not out
patch,
of form,
and
man.
he should be
He's been like
benched.
this for a long time, man.
Sean, I
He's
like
been like this
Bruno.
since
Okay.
January.
I like
He's
him,
been
but
like
I'm
this since
asking you,
January.
well, bro, I'm asking
He's
you
been
guys.
like this
We
since
we have
January.
a
He's not out of
player
form.
that we look at and we constantly criticize him because he's doing almost what he wants, or he's trying to do 2 and 3 jobs, and it's detrimental to the team. We've had this on this panel a long time. Now, is the manager there not supposed to rein that in and remedy that situation by talking to his
He doesn't
captain and say
believe
to
in
him,
that.
look,
You know
so
why
what's
I think
happening?
he's not the
Listen
manager?
to me. Boombaye, Bruno Fernandes and on Ten Hag's eyes cannot do any wrong.
You
Under
know why
Ole
I
was
think he's
saying,
not the manager?
can't do anything any wrong.
We watching the game from home have the benefit to have the bird eye view. The manager have the sideline view. A manager can give a midfielder instruction, but football being a very dynamic and intuitive game, when you playing it, the circumstances change. And as the player, you have to make appeal to your personal awareness. That's where the problem is because Bruno has no positional awareness. That's his problem. That's not a manager's instruction.
Man, you have to be coaching them. You can't go and press on your own. You have to press as a team. Today we saw it. Bruno was pressing. I mean, I commend the work rate of Bruno. He does not shirk a shift. But if it's detrimental to the team and they're able to get out because you've wasted a man, maybe the team should be backing him up and pressing. I don't know.
No, but I've seen all the guys. Like I've seen all the guys. The ball being a certain area of the pitch, he dropped two steps just to be behind the ball a little bit because of the phase of play. That's personal awareness. That have nothing to do with coaching.
No,
At
but
the end of the day,
Odegaard is a different player, from Bruno, and I don't understand. Like nobody is reckoning with just the numbers or the facts of the matter. Literally, how much Bruno has contributed to
but I don't want
the
that
amount
anymore.
of goals. No,
I don't want
you
that
can't
anymore.
you
I
can't
don't
just
want.
dismiss it,
So,
right? You
sorry,
have to. I'm saying it's
sorry,
something that you
Sean.
have to factor in. One style of football to play, I think, would be to pair Bruno, as Ten Hag is trying to do, with midfielders who play deep, giving Bruno the freedom to be more creative. Now, Bruno
Yo,
shouldn't be playing every single game because, like any other player, he needs to be fresh. He needs to keep people honest also. So there should be somebody else that is coming on, when Bruno is out of form, to give him the odd game rest, keep your ideas fresh. Bruno has literally been carrying United on his back.
and
The
I
load
don't
is
want that.
lightning. He's trying to
And I
find
don't want
his
that.
place in the
I don't
squad.
want no player to carry me or carry the United team. I don't want that. I want the team to carry the team. Go ahead, Joe. Let me just get this big up alien.
Yeah, yeah.
Alien. The only triangles United do is Dorito. Dorito ones. Pick up Peter. Go ahead, Jarvis. Last word of
Yeah.
the show from you.
Yeah, I just want to say it's a good question from Boombaye. Why is Bruno allowed to run around like a headless chicken? I don't understand it either, because if you're a coach who believes in tactics and formations and systems and styles and everything, you should talk to Bruno and tell him you can't do like this. We play like a team, we press like a team, we act like a team, and Bruno act like an individual. The thing Bruno does, he goes on some rants with I call it shadow pressing or whatever you call it. He can run around and suddenly something flips and he runs and uses all his power to press the goalkeeper and chases the fullback and everything. He do it individually. We have other players like, for example, Garnacho and Hoyland. They are really good press players. They press to win the ball. They do it together. They act like team players.
The
But Bruno,
angles, they press
yeah,
sideways.
they
They
press
press
sideways.
sideways. They press sideways.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
listen,
that's
Rashford.
a fact.
Listen, the only thing Rashford does is shadow press his own shadow.
Yeah, Rashford, but
That's
now Bruno,
just the
Bruno
shot.
and Rashford together, when you have those two on top, how are you
Yeah.
supposed to press the opposition? And that's a big problem. So big up to Boombaye for asking this question, but I don't have an
How
answer.
many times have we said that though? How many times have we said that? Last word of the show, bro. Go ahead, King.
This club.
No, with regards to Bruno, he isn't.
No.
He's
Answer
very
my question. Actually,
you
is it a yes from you that Ten Hag does not get another season? For me, I'm done. At the end of the season.
no,
Thank you, Eric.
no,
It's been a pleasure.
no.
Thanks for the catfishing. Ta-da. But
Yeah,
so is the players. He has to stay for me. If the players don't go, if the backroom staff are
yeah,
all there, and the
yeah.
injury and rehab, the medical team are all there, then he has to stay. if they're all going, he has to go.
No,
Go ahead. Let's go.
no. For me, I stand with this. He should not be. I feel like we shouldn't be writing off seasons like it's nothing. If we're
It's
a
so.
club
Come
that
on.
is
So,
yeah, you can't be writing off seasons. You can't be writing off seasons. How many seasons have you written off now? How many years has been passed? At this point, we need to be careful in what we do going forward. We need to assess things accurately, not be in a rush, but not over analyze things, but at the same time, make sure that whatever we're doing is very effective. So if we've seen that a manager is underperforming, the clear sight is that the manager has to go along with the players, and we start from scratch. I'd rather do that than keep a manager into another season. You write it off, then you have to now wait for the fourth or fifth season, then you start all over from scratch. Why can't you do that now? I look at that as detrimental in whatever we're trying to do, because people think that we can just write off seasons like it's nothing. Teams improve around us. Teams aren't gonna stand still. So for me, I look at that aspect, and I'd rather bring in someone that the board actually trusts, because when you actually think about it, the manager won't even perform to his 100%. When he knows he's got everything lacking over his shoulders. He knows he's got a new board, he's got a new structure that doesn't really want him like that. I mean, people aren't stupid, so he definitely knows that they're not really fans like that when it comes to him. He definitely knows that a new board means new people, new faces, new everything. So I'd rather go with someone who knows that the board has he knows that the board has him 100%, and all he has to do is come in, do his job, do the bare minimum, basically manage players, manage games, make sure that he makes the right substitutions, picks the right team, picks a balanced team, utilizes his squad. And I don't see that from this current manager. He can't even do the bare minimum. So it's not a structural thing with him, it's also a managerial thing. So I don't see him next season. Personally, I did tell you guys that he's not making top 4, top 5, and he will be sacked. I said this. I remember saying it. I remember telling Bumbaye the other time, and I was like, he's not making it, and he will be sacked
No,
based on that.
I remember
And
what Lesso said, and I think what Lesso says also speaks to the standards. If you just writing seasons off while other people around you are improving, it kind of sends out a
thank you.
message that the standards are shit here.
Yep.
Start from
Well, they have
nothing.
been shit. That's Glazeronomics for you boys.
No, there has to be.
Glazers.
Look, bro, I understand when you say no standard stuff, but this is still Man United. There still is
There's no
400 million to
standards, man.
spend.
What
No,
standards?
there has to
We
be though.
spent
There
the
has to
most.
be though.
Mumbai, Manchester United
Yeah.
spent $1.5 billion in transfer, more than anybody else.
Bro, if there's no
right,
standards, keep the
more
manager.
than anybody else. We've got 2 League Cups, 1 Europa League, and an FA Cup in 11 years.
If there's no standards, keep the manager. What Lesso's saying to me is right. He has a very good point. It's important we maintain an expectation. At least an expectation.
Mumbai,
I mean,
if
bro,
nobody else is leaving,
listen
if
to
nobody
me.
else
When
is
we
leaving,
watch
let me
Man
say this.
United, hang on. When we watch Manchester United, I'm not asking for a league. I'm not asking for anything. I would like a top 4 just to sign players that we're gonna need who want to play Champions League, and I want to see good football. You show me good football, even if we lose, and I see we're improving. I'm with you. This is what happened with Klopp, right? Klopp won in the 3rd or 4th season, but he took over a team, and you could feel there was something different here, and it kept going and building and growing. They got to 3 finals. They lost them all, but they still stuck with him. Why? You feel that you're going somewhere. And that's
Connection.
how
It's
you
connection,
get. Yeah,
Mumbai.
exactly. Do you feel
Connection.
you're going anywhere with Eric Ten Hag? Each person has to answer that.
No, I'm not.
Nope.
Listen, he catfished me. I told you. I've never wanted a manager at Manchester United as much as I wanted him. And
This is
he
how
catfished
football
me.
works.
But
bro.
it hasn't been linear
And I
now,
called
right?
it early.
From
Remember
one
that.
season to
I
another.
called it early. January. But anyway, people, big up to every one of you. Love and light.
Bro, look,
We
I
appreciate...
cut Lesso off if you want to let him finish off. I'm sorry.
No, I think he was. I think he said it's not for him. Let's have anything to add. Yeah.
No, I think.
No,
I think I'm
Luani,
sorry. I'm all
last
good.
word from you, bro. Last word of the show from you.
Yeah, Lesso's
you were
trying to get in.
asking if,
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Lesso. Sorry. Go ahead. 1 second, Luani. Go ahead, Lesso. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that I think I said everything. I think Bombay covered everything else that I wanted to put out. But yeah,
sorry, apologies.
It's all good. Big up to you. Go ahead, Luani.
Look,
last
I don't.
show
you were
Okay.
asking if
Sorry.
I will give him another year. Personally, no. And the reason for that is that I will sack him right now. We still have 10 games left in the season, and those 10 games against competitive Premier League opposition could serve the manager that is coming as a training or a way to implement the system.
So that I agree with.
Next season. I will sack him right now if I have my man, because 10 competitive
but
games.
I don't think they have their man. I don't think they have their man.
Okay.
No, I mean they have to, right? Like Nuruddin, like they have to. I don't think managers like this idea of sacking, waiting to the summer to sack somebody. I don't think that happens often. In fact, I think when managers are sacked in the summer, it's usually after they've won something, and it's like a mutual like parting of ways. If you're gonna sack Ten Hag, sack him now.
Yes,
I agree.
now. Because
I agree.
Between the 10 games
He's not got a
and
new
the end of the
contract.
season,
Listen,
the new manager will
the payment to pay him is going to be less, so they can sack him in the summer and say, "See you later."
Look,
and that new manager,
I thought we agreed that this is not about the money, right?
If Ineos are worth,
listen, let me say something. A new manager deserves a preseason with these players. I don't think they have the manager to come in. Listen to me, guys. I beg you. And when I say this to you guys, please fucking believe me. Manchester United have zero plans. Dodgy Dave is apparently doing a review. They don't have time to be sacking a manager. He's still doing a review. Looking at what's wrong. Manchester United do not go and get managers mid-season. In the last 11 years, all they've done is interim. When I say we've had interims, we've had more interims than we've had in managers. So that's not happening. I don't want Steve McLaren. I don't want fucking Darren Fletcher. I'm not having it.
No.
I want everybody to go. I want players, managers.
You want Southgate, innit?
Staff, everybody to go. See you later.
But Nuruddin, that's what you want is not going to happen, right? So in the realm of possibilities, there is sack Ten Hag in the summer or sack him right now.
No,
the clear out like which and sacking him in the summer doesn't get you anything.
It does.
Really.
At the end of the season, May is the end of the season. May is the end of the season, right?
No.
By the end
What
of
if
May,
what if we fall
by
into
the
the
end of
second
May,
half?
actually,
What
it's
if
not
we
even
fall
the
into the
summer.
second half of the
It's not
table?
even summer. Listen to me. It's not even in the summer. It's not even in summer. It's May. It's the spring, right? You sack him at the end of spring, and then you've got 2 months or a month and a half, 2 months to go and find out what managers, because managers as well, the managers that you want right now do not want to leave the jobs that they're doing to come to a Manchester United. They're not doing that. So
How many years is Eric's
you go and do it.
contract?
He's got 1 more year after this. That's it.
No, but
So
what are we
wait.
talking about really though? We have 10 games left in the season, right? We could theoretically make top 4. If you're giving the manager the
That's
chance
not
to
what.
make,
That's not gonna happen.
if you're giving the
I'm
manager a
sorry
chance
to
to
say,
make top 4,
there ain't no miracle workers out here. There ain't nobody in world football that I can think of. Deep down, most of you know, or else you'd have been screaming the name of that person out. That's why I'm
Whoa.
frustrated
I've
yeah,
got a
with
name.
you, fan base.
under
Got the name.
I get
under
so
those
frustrated with
circumstances,
you.
under
There
those
is nobody
circumstances, if you
turning
don't
this
sack the
ship
manager,
around.
that means
There
you're
is
keeping
nobody
him
doing that.
for the future. Like under the
There's nobody
circumstances you're
doing that.
describing, Nuruddin, like where there's no chance we make the top 4. If you
There
keep the
isn't.
manager to the end of the season, that basically means
There
you're
isn't.
giving him a chance, or you're wasting your time and his time.
No. I'm sorry.
And I don't think these people are
Listen
going
to
to
me.
waste
No,
anybody's time
listen to
or
me.
interested in
Listen
wasting
to
their
me, Sean.
time.
Listen
Yeah.
to me, Sean.
Okay.
Listen to me. I've said it to you again and again. Manchester United and majority of football clubs, especially high-profile ones, if they want a manager, usually that manager is at another club. Unless Manchester United go and get signed Hansi Flick. Go and get Hansi Flick. If they do that, then
No, but
yeah, I
what
can see
clubs
that.
are you
But they're
talking
not
about
doing
though?
that.
Because if you think back in history to the major clubs, all their managers were out of work when they signed for the other clubs. When
No,
Pep
they
came to
hire them
City,
usually. They hire.
yeah,
Listen,
when Pep
majority
came
of
to
top teams,
Liverpool,
they do it
Arteta
in
wasn't
terms.
working.
Majority of top clubs, you've seen Gus Hiddink. How many times did Gus Hiddink go to Chelsea? Because they understood that they rather get the new manager in with a preseason and a transfer window together. And a preseason and transfer window that gives the manager every opportunity. Getting him mid-season, and for me, and I say to it, and I say it to the grave, I don't want another fucking interim. I know what's going to happen.
Can
and
I
don't
say
want
this? Nuruddin, you know me. I
Then
don't
then
swear
we'll
that
see.
much.
Then we'll see each other next year. Like that's it. Then we'll see again.
Yeah, of
we'll go
course.
again next year.
But Sean,
That's literally what this is.
Sean, you told me the season is a write-off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has to be.
Ago.
It has to be
It's
a
a
write-off
write-off.
because I feel like even these like Jim Ratcliffe and Dave that as I was watching today, they have to have their assessment of where they think United will end this season realistically. And if they have people in their back room that have anything worth their salt, they're probably telling them that yeah, this season is done. Like you're probably not going to make Champions League. That's going into their planning because they came into the equation halfway through the season, right? So it's already priced in my opinion, where we're likely to end up and what the decision is. So if Ten Hag is going to be sacked, we're going to know very soon. And I'm saying if he makes it to the end of the season, then we'll all see each other next year. Hopefully, they're able to get rid of some players in the squad and freshen things up a bit.
There's a lot of
But like, yeah.
people to leave.
Listen,
anyway,
I
guys,
don't
I've
like
gotta
to
go.
swear.
I'm tired.
I don't like to swear, Dino. But can I use the C word on here?
Go ahead, man.
Conte, baby, Conte. That's what you bloody need.
Hell no. What?
You don't know what you're missing. I swear. That's the remedy for this place.
I'll take Alonso, Zabi Alonso.
Comments
One and
comments
only.
tonight have been brilliant from
He's
a lot
wearing
of
a wig.
people.
He's
There's some
wearing
new
a
guys, new
wig.
people as well in there.
Antonio Fossil football. We're not having any of that.
You know,
Sorry.
How do you guys? What do you guys think of
Big up to
Alonso,
everybody.
Zabi Alonso?
Please smash a like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. We are shadow banned. We are the people are getting unsubscribed. This is what's happening. YouTube, they're suppressing us because we stand up for the people in the Congo, the Sudan, the Palestinians. We stand up for justice. We stand up for liberation. More importantly, then we get the peace. So it's simple for me. Liberation first, justice, then the peace. So that's where it is, people. But fuck you, Zionist. Fuck anybody who supports the Zionist. And free the Congo, free Sudan, free the Tigray region, and anywhere where people are oppressed, we stand with them regardless of orientation, regardless of ethnicity, religion, whatever you want to call it. You're human. We see the humanity in everyone. and YouTube don't like that. So it is what it is. And fuck Keir Starmer, Rishi Sunak, the British media, the fucking BBC, ITV, Sky, all of you lot. All of you have got the Palestinian babies' blood on your fucking hands. Fuck. Free Palestine. I'd like to thank everybody. Big up. Please make sure you check out Sean Thomas on Twitter. Make sure How We See Things. That's the political podcast. How We See Things. Check that out. Luani, catch him on here. Big up. Bumbaye, never see him anywhere. Jarvis is there. Bowley 77. It's on Man UFC TV. I think Wednesdays. Jarvis Corner on Man UFC Realist TV. Monday. I don't know why I keep saying Wednesdays. Lesso, make sure you check out Lesso TV. And big up to everybody, man. Love and light, everybody. Please smash a like on your way out. And we'll see you for the preview maybe tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, Monday. Monday for the preview for Forest on Wednesday.
We're clipping.
Big up, guys.
I think we're out. Me personally, I think we're out. But players could surprise me. They could shock me. Eh?
Trophy charge. You know, FA Cup charge.
FA Cup charge, mate. Wembley! Where the famous
Man United and we're going to Wembley.
Wembley!
Nah, this is bullshit, man. I become a United fan. You know, I used to be an Ajax fan. The Ajax of Louis Van Gaal, that was my dream team. And then I became United fan because we're just bullying everybody off the pitch, right? The only team that could play us was Arsenal. And today I'm seeing teams coming at Old Trafford and bumping us the park, and I've been asked to accept that as the new reality. It's not gonna happen. It's bullshit.
You
Can I add one more thing?
to argue with
Can
that.
I add one more thing?
It is.
Can I add one more thing? I forgot to add one more thing. With regards to I forgot to mention this. I mean, when I said I wanted a style of play within 12 months, you know, I saw what LVG did, and you know, when he came in within a few couple of months, we're already dominating teams in terms of possession. So you know, he did this with a squad. Without a squad, there were times where we had almost, if not every player out, and we still dominated teams with the likes of Paddy McNabb and Tyler Blackett. So for me, you cannot tell me that these kind of players should not are not a level above what Van Gaal had at that time. So I'm not buying this thing where a manager should not be implementing a style of play within 12 months. We dominated Chelsea.
But there was a cost to Van Gaal's style now, right? There was a cost to that style of football, that a price that we didn't want to pay.
Yes, but I feel like why we wanted to give him time is because we knew that there was lack of quality. It was not even a matter of anything. We needed a bit of more quality in terms to implement his style of play. But there was a style
this
of
is
play.
how I felt about
We
it.
were willing to get behind. Yeah.
To be honest.
Do you know why Bruno does my head in so much? When I came to the US here, I took like a 10 years hiatus away from football. I didn't watch football for 10 years, right? So I was watching American football, basketball, baseball. And one thing I found all those sports have in common is turnover. In American football, when a quarterback throws an interception, it's game over. In basketball, when you turn over the ball, it's transition the other way. In baseball, when there is an error, wrong can score. That turnover thing, you cannot sell me a player that's turning the ball over or that's finishing a game with a low 70% possession, pass completion. I'm not taking that. I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
Arnie,
Yeah,
the new
no,
phrase is
I'm
this.
just honest.
The new phrase is this: basketballification of Ten Hag's tactics. Basketballification. That's what he's turned us into, bro.
Yep.
It's turnover FC. But anyway, good night, guys. Appreciate you all. Love and light. Take care. Take care of yourselves, man. We'll be back on Monday with a match preview for not
Forest
in the
game.
Wembley, Wembley.
Thanks for having me.
The famous Manchester United, and we're going to Wembley.
Who's coming to Vings?
Big up everyone. So
Take care,
Big up
guys.
Sean, big up Luani, Lesso, Jav, the panel, and of
Take
course,
care.
last but not least, Structure.
That's it. Free
Big up.
Palestine. Free Palestine. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.